Okay, so today I'm going to be showing you how to make microwavable bean babies. Really, they're just full of wheat beans, so it's nothing too exciting. But the only thing I think putting me off was I didn't quite know where to get these from. So I've included a link on the website minismallholder.com so that you can have a look, because it's actually very cheap. So what I wanted to show you before I showed you the finished product, I haven't got a sewing machine because I had fear of the sewing machine, so I wanted to show you wearing these. And this isn't obviously what you're going to be sewing it onto, but I thought it would be a really good way of showing you. So this is what I use when I'm doing crochet. So what you do a slip knot. Do you want to have a look? You do a slip knot, which is literally like the money goes around the hill, and you pull it quite loosely. This is how I do it. I would then go through in one go and come back up, and then at that time, the first stitch, I would go through the slip knot. Now, I wouldn't necessarily do this for all the types of sewing I do, but it works really well for this one because you see how small the beans are. They will escape, and when they escape, they will go absolutely everywhere. And it will be in the pockets of your coats, etc, etc. So you just have to make sure that you get that nice and tight on the first one, and then you keep going back on yourself so you can keep reinforcing that stitch. And then what you want to do is you want to incorporate the rest of that into the rest of the stitches, just for that added security. I'll show you in a second that this is actually going to be on the inside of what you're doing. So in many ways it won't be seen, it'll just be as part of the fold, but this just provides that extra security so that then folds those together. When I come to the end, I'll show you how I do that as well, but I'll move it out of the way for now. Okay, so first things first, you fold this inside out, so you've got the darker pattern on the inside of that there now. And you can see when I've pinned this, I've left a little bit of a gap that side. So I'm going to start along here and sew, as I have done with this one. This is the bit where the danger lies. So I would say if you're doing this with little people, just make sure that they know no guts, no glory, but just be careful because it does sort of catch you a little bit. So let's move that one out of the way. So I've just got a little bit left to finish on this. So if you, sorry Paddy, come in again, closer, you can see I'm just going to be finishing that off using the smallest stitches I've got the patience to do, so as to keep those little beans inside. And then as I get to the edge, I'm just going to go around it, and then I don't think I need to show you this in the green wall again, but I'll just do anything I can to start knotting it off so that it doesn't at any stage come loose. Okay, there we are. Now, the important thing to remember when you're giving these as gifts is that people can't just microwave them for sort of 3 or 4 minutes at a time. Microwave them for 30 seconds at a time, and then come back to them and just ensure that you can zuzz them around a bit to move the beans around. The last thing you want is people getting burnt from having beans that are too hot. Okay, and you can just tie that off like that, take the pin and pop it away somewhere safely. Now, what I do to make it a little bit easier when you're turning them around is I actually cut the corners off of the ones that you've sewn, because they're the ones that are going to have the blunt corners. So there is a little bit of waste here actually. But maybe they could go into be mouse ears in the future or something for your next project. And you can do these with safety scissors, you can obviously do these with very expensive material scissors, but I don't think you need to be too concerned because it's going to be turned inside out. So what I do, I pop that through, and this is going to become like almost my little pokey stick. Find that almost like when you're making the bed up, and get that, push it through my thumb, and then transfer it across so that it goes straight through. I'll be surprised if this does this first time on camera. Oh, it does. Okay, so then you just pull it through nice and gently, so you can see that if you make the hole too small, you set yourself up to actually start bursting your seams, but if you make it too big, later on when we come to fill, the beans are going to go everywhere. And I'm most nervous about filling it because that's when the beans are going to go everywhere live on camera. Okay, so you just shake it out a little bit, and again using your little crochet hook that you've got as your little poking stick, you just move it around and push all the corners out very gently, very gently. And you should be able to see all your tiny little stitches that are all wonderful and neat and won't let a single one of those beans through. Okay, there we are. Okay, now I've got another one that I've prepared as well. Now, in the ones that I've seen, people have bought funnels, and that's probably quite a good idea, and it limits the chance of the beans spilling everywhere live on camera. And I haven't got any editing material yet, so if it does spill, we'll all just have to cope with it. So I make a little cone with a piece of cardboard, obviously recycled cardboard, and then this is the sort of fun bit. You just shove them down like that. Do you want to have a close up? Quite a satisfying little sound actually. Why aren't you going down? There we are. It's quite nice. Quite a good sound, but it does make me worry that it's now going to spill everywhere. Oh no, it's okay, it's going okay. For now. Now, you don't want to overfill, and it is tempting, so I would say probably about 50% would be probably pushing it. So especially when it sits down nice and flat, once you get the hang of it, you can see it goes quite quickly. It does go a lot more quickly when it's not on camera, I swear. So yeah, probably about 50% full will be enough. Also, what's good about these is you can make them in half sizes, and you can give them to people as gifts for pocket warmers. So if you know that you've got a long walk to the train every morning, it's quite a nice gift, because you can just 30 seconds each one, shove them around, and you've got another one. The other thing is, if you've got an inflammation, these are quite good because you can put one in the freezer. If you're putting them in the freezer, always put them into the zip bag, like a plastic bag or something, obviously a recycled one that you've already used, and it just stops it from getting freezer burn. As you can see, lots of scope for mistakes. And these beans bounce off any tiled floor and go under every cooker and everything. Okay, so it's up to you how much you want to have, but you can see that one's about 50%, this one's a little bit less, and then exactly the same as before, you're just going to start sewing again. Whoops, maybe not so low down as that. And it's as easy as that. So I think the total cost for this sits somewhere around about £3 at the most, and that's if you buy the material. Nothing wrong with reusing material that you currently have lying around the house, especially as you will have some from other projects that I've been doing with you. So nothing wrong with reusing those whatsoever. But again, I'll finish that off and then I'll put some photos up. But basically, it just makes lots of these. So I think without a sewing machine, you'll be looking at about half an hour each one. With the sewing machine, if you're good at it, 2 or 3 minutes, if not a lot longer. Okay, but if you want any more information, please visit us at theminismallholder.com or subscribe to my channel for more ideas. Thanks very much.